Coming up on UCF Nightly News. See how Hurricane Ian is making an impact locally here in Orlando.
Along with what UCF is doing to help out students in need following the storm. In sports, see how UCF weathered the storm playing a midweek game versus SMU.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Erica Brockish.
And I'm Emily McMinn. Today is Friday, October 7th, 2022. Hurricane Ian is now the deadliest storm to ever hit Florida. It is also the deadliest storm to hit the United States this century. Our condolences are with everyone impacted by Hurricane Ian here at UCF and the Southwest Florida community. The Category 4 storm ripped through the state late last week and continues to leave hundreds of thousands without water, electricity, but most of all, homes. If you'd like to donate to any of the causes for Hurricane Ian relief, the links will be in the description box below.
We will continue to update you as Florida begins its road to recovery.
Meanwhile, many Central Floridians are still picking up the pieces, literally. UCF Nightly News reporter Allegra Montesano shares how Cocoa Beach residents are dealing with debris.
It's the calm after the storm for residents here in Cocoa, but their beloved beach has seen better days.
The U.S. Center for Biological Diversity estimates about 40% of the ocean surface is covered in debris, and residents here think that a lot of that debris washed up in those huge waves that Hurricane Ian caused.
There's a lot of straws and bottle caps and stuff that is just never going to degrade.
Deborah Concepcion is a local. She says the abnormal amount of waste washing up on the shore is dangerous for the wildlife.
Walk along the high water line, you can find straws just all over the place, all kinds of debris, and I don't think it's ours. It's not our tourists. This is coming in from the ocean.
Although Concepcion thinks the pollution is a problem, Cocoa lifeguard Adam Smouse says the area has weathered worse waste in the past.
As for Irma, it was a lot worse. The bottom part, the baseline of this lifeguard stand right here, the ramp going up to the tower, was over there. And there actually was a lot of trash, seaweed, debris on the beach.
City officials and residents, like Concepcion, have still made it their mission to keep the beach clean after the storm. Those efforts are not lost on beachgoers, who once again get to enjoy sun, sand, and a sense of normalcy. In Cocoa Beach, Allegra Montesano, UCF Nightly News.
Cocoa Beach officials are still assessing the damage that Ian caused today. That includes beach debris, flooding, and a gaping sinkhole on State Road A1A.
With classes back in session, many students are still feeling the impacts and in need of help. UCF Nightly News reporter Desiree Grant shares some of the resources students can utilize during their time of need.
Campus administrators communicating they are here to help, many students don't feel supported in this time of need. Some students say they are still unaware of what exactly is being offered by the departments being advertised. UCF Industrial Engineering student Sammy Jade shares her side of that story.
It's been kind of difficult to see what is available.
With students returning back to campus for class Tuesday, many are still left with uncertainties. And with hundreds already reaching out to UCF for help, employees have been assigned to lend a hand.
Since Hurricane Ian, over 50 UCF staff members have been mobilized to assist the nearly 700 UCF students who have reached out to the university for help.
UCF Student Legal Services is among the resources UCF is recommending to students during this time. Attorney Jamie Owen from UCF Legal shares a few specific storm issues students can bring to them.
Some students weren't really sure if they're trying to make a property or renter's insurance claim, rather, or a FEMA claim. Like, What should they document? Do they have to keep the damaged goods,
Students and faculty in need are being urged to fill out a Student of Concern form in order to access storm support, such as financial aid, meal vouchers, and housing placement. In Orlando, Desiree Grant, UCF Nightly News.
As of October 4th, UCF confirmed immediate housing availability at the Quad, Vale East, Knightsbridge at Stony Brook, and the Julian.
Students are petitioning against the university's response to Hurricane Ian, saying they need more time and support to recover. Nightly News reporter Alina Haru spoke with students about their concerns.
That's going to affect your grades.
Devin Lynn studies biomedical sciences at UCF and says he evacuated his home after Hurricane Ian struck Orlando. He says he lives at Arden Villas, where the National Guard rescued more than 200 people last week.
When we were all worried because a lot of us didn't have a place to live, we didn't have a place to go, the UCF started trying to open back up on Monday.
An alert was sent out shortly after by UCF, stating the campus would instead open Tuesday, giving students just one extra day of recovery.
It's kind of ridiculous.
The message sparked a petition on behalf of students. Reggie Ocampos is among the 1,700 signatures this petition has so far. He says he didn't get power back at the Point at Central Apartments until Sunday.
If you didn't have a car and you lived at the Point and you didn't have power until Sunday and the power went out Wednesday, it's like, am I supposed to walk somewhere to charge everything?
Protesters just gathered here at Memory Mall with signs like this one to speak out against the university. I was able to speak with Democratic congressional candidate Maxwell Frost to see what community leaders are doing to help. Frost is an activist running for Florida's 10th congressional district. He says students are expressing their needs because they exist.
Hurricane Ian has come, has displaced so many students across East Orlando, displaced so many families. Feels like the relief efforts aren't what they need to be to ensure people have the resources they need to rebuild and get back to their lives.
In Orlando, Alina Haru, UCF Nightly News.
Displaced Knights can fill out a Student of Concern form to access resources from the university. Student Care Services is working closely with faculty members to communicate issues students are facing. Hey Alina, how's the weather this weekend? Do you think we'll need to take a rain check on our plans for Halloween Horror Nights?
Thanks, Emily. In fact, it's the perfect weather to walk around Universal with a warm drink in hand. Temperatures are falling during early mornings as we enter the second week of fall, making it really start to feel like fall here in Orlando. And after last week's storm, I'm pretty sure we're all noticing that cold front coming in. This afternoon, though, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, warm temperatures, a high of 83, and 85% humidity. Cooler winds are coming from the southeast at 3 miles per hour, and there's no chance of rain tonight, so ditch those umbrellas. Instead, consider trading it for a nice light jacket. I'll see you guys later in the show. Emily and Erica, back to you.
Stay tuned to see the response from Iranians about a controversial death.
Plus, service to spirit. See how one UCF organization is giving back. Up to 44% of college students report feeling symptoms of anxiety and depression, says the Mayo Clinic. As we get into October and leave behind September and National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, Hopkins Medical says 1 in 4 adults suffer from a diagnosable mental disorder. To help people find mental health resources, Nick Narrow created For Haley, a website putting all of these resources in one location.
That's at forhaley.com, that it's a mental health search engine to help therapists, blog sites, YouTube videos, and content that's been natively uploaded right to Haley. What you type
in tears. Yesterday, the For Haley app launched, which also offers mental health resources. To visit the website, go to forhaley.com or look for the link in the newscast bio.
UCF's Young Democratic Socialists of America held a protest on campus Thursday to voice their opinions on current issues. The school's handling of student problems with Hurricane Ian and the recent overturn of Roe v. Wade left members upset. Yesterday, students joined the organization in solidarity. They were able to listen to speeches and protests, claiming their civil rights were being violated. Secretary Jules Limon Maldonado led the protest, saying students are fed up with the decisions of both UCF and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. STEP at UCF is a service dog training and education program on campus, where students can raise dogs themselves to become service animals. The club raised enough money to name a puppy themselves, and she's finally with her raiser. UCF Knightly News reporter Carrie Searcy tells us how one organization is combining school spirit and service.
STEP at UCF raised over $15,000 for the Canine Companions Dogfest fundraiser and got to name this new puppy Pegasus. Pegasus is the first dog in the program to represent UCF, but it didn't stop there. They increased the fundraising to $25,000, which allowed Meredith Rome to bring Pegasus home and raise her to be a service dog.
It's so rewarding thinking like this hard work that I'm putting through right now is going to completely change someone's life one day.
Meredith is responsible for teaching her 30 basic commands to prepare her to be a service dog. Puppies are usually with their raiser for about 1.5 years, so next November she will hand Pegasus over for professional training. That's a day Meredith has to prepare herself for.
So it's like sending your kid off to college, pretty much. It's really hard, but it's for the best. It's for that person with the disability. It's for that independence that they can gain from all of my hard work and Pegasus's hard work.
While Pegasus is only 3 months old, once she gets older, like Houston here, she'll be able to learn more commands and be ready for professional training. STEP at UCF President Chloe Warner is raising her second dog, Houston. Houston is about 8 months old and is learning fast already. Chloe says they can keep track of the puppy's progress even after they leave.
It's very hard to say goodbye, but we do get reports every month while they're in professional training, so we get to see what they're doing.
For now, Pegasus is still learning, but one day she will go off to be a service dog and represent UCF while making a difference in someone's life. In Orlando, Carrie Searcy, UCF Nightly News.
Iranians across the country are taking to the streets after a college student's death for showing her hair in Iran. Disapproval over the Iranian government began after a 22-year-old woman was killed while in custody of Iran's morality police. A heavy police presence lingers throughout the country as civilians protest for a third straight week. Women of all ages across the country are chanting, quote, "Death to the dictator," with some even uncovering their hair in objection. One human rights group says about 150 people have been killed and hundreds are in custody.
UCF Health Services and other campus departments were on display at the Healthy Nights Expo Thursday. Different departments gathered in the Pegasus Ballroom to inform students about available resources such as free injury screenings, blood drives, and the Night's Pantry. The Recreation and Wellness Center used interactive demonstrations to show students the benefits of physical activity. Student Health Programs Manager Krista Zavallo says she hopes students walk away with new life skills.
UCF into one place so students can come and learn about all those resources.
This was the first Healthy Nights Expo held indoors since 2019, with the previous two hosted outside to prevent the spread of COVID-19. 4 members of Elon Musk's historic Falcon 9 team took flight Wednesday for a 6-month-long trip aboard the International Space Station. The Crew 5 team made history with its launch on Wednesday, marking multiple landmarks in space travel. Nicole Mann became the first Indigenous woman to fly into space, and Russian astronaut Anna Koenig taking a part of the mission despite tension between the two nations. This excursion becomes SpaceX's 8th human spaceflight in just over 2 years, with the objective to perform maintenance activities and technology demonstrations aboard the ISS. After the break, we'll check in with Alina and get a weather update.
Plus, learn why a nearby road is blocked off.
Hurricane Ian brought major flooding to Rouse Road just down the street from here. Alina's here with more on that and with a full weather update.
Thank you, Erica. Police and construction crews are still blocking off Rouse Road due to flooding from Hurricane Ian. According to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, floodwaters from the Little Econ River washed out a retention pond pump. Without that pump, the river flooded the intersection of Rouse and Buck Road, causing parts of the roadway to collapse. This being a result of the hurricane dropping 16 inches of rain here in Orlando. Water has been drained since, but construction efforts to repair the roadway are ongoing. So guys, we're in for some really cool temperatures here in Central Florida. In fact, I even left the house with the jacket and I realized I didn't need it. So let's move on to our highs. In Tallahassee, we're sitting at an 89, and throughout Orlando, Tampa, and Miami, we're going to be in the 60s. Moving on to our lows, we're pretty much going to be in the 70s and 60s throughout this state, with Tallahassee being the coldest at 59. With our rain percentages for the week, it looks like Miami is going to be a 15% chance, and other than that, there's little to no rain in the rest of the state. Moving on to our 5-day forecast. For the weekend, we can expect some sun and some cool temperatures at night. Make sure to keep a jacket handy. Moving into the school week, we can see that you're going to need an umbrella because there's some rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nights are in for a really nice fall season. That's all for now. Back to you, Emily and Erica.
Coming up, we'll get a recap of Wednesday night's football game.
Plus, see what the RWC is planning to do about the field shortage at the RWC Park.
Good afternoon, Knights. I'm Jeff Laux, and this is your weekly UCF Sports Update. UCF football partnered with Knights Pantry in One Florida during its game Wednesday night. Before the game, players wore One Florida warm-up shirts that are available for purchase to the public, with 100% of profits going to hurricane relief efforts. UCF players, along with other in-state college football teams, wore decals on the back of their helmets. 100% of proceeds will be donated to the Florida Disaster Fund. Students experiencing hardships are encouraged to contact UCF CAPS crisis line on the road to recovery. As UCF addresses the ongoing field condition issue, another problem has arose. There's not enough space for everybody. Nightly News reporter Erica Baracus shares what the RWC is planning to do about this.
In 2006, there were 3 recreational softball fields on campus. Now in 2022, there is only 1 field that is shared by the club softball team, the club baseball team, and every intramural team. I spoke with club president Maddie Pena, and she says this is affecting everyone involved.
We need a lot more fields because there are club baseball, club softball, and intramurals that all deserve their own fields, as well as the correct dimensions for softball because they are different from baseball.
According to the National Intramural and Recreation Sports Association, UCF should have roughly 10 fields based on enrollment. In UCF's 2020 to 2030 master plan, the school acknowledges the critical need for additional recreational softball fields. But as of right now, there are no plans to begin any more construction on fields such as this one. Gary Cahan, the Associate Director of Programs at the RWC, says with 2 sport club teams and intramural sports, the biggest challenge is accommodating everybody.
It is a challenge scheduling, and it's something that we are constantly trying to review and see how we can best accommodate. But in reality, best accommodate means sometimes groups are forced off campus or other locations.
Cahan says that in order to build more fields on campus, money must be allocated to the RWC from the Capital Improvement Trust Fund that comes from students' building and capital improvement fees. The RWC has it in their master plan to build at least 1 more competitive baseball field along with more grass and turf fields. In Orlando, Erica Brockish, UCF Nightly News.
UCF men's club soccer team travels to Boca Raton for a match against FAU. This is the team's first match since September 25th when they defeated the University of Miami during the UF tournament finals. The Knights defeated UNF and UF to make it to the championship game. UCF senior Elad Yair says playing against an in-state opponent is a big part of building up the team's confidence.
Our goal is to be the best team in the state, so it's definitely exciting. I'm also from the South Florida area, so playing teams from down there gets me excited, and I know a lot of the other guys as well.
Yair says winning games like these will help them in their push for regionals at the end of October. After their game on Sunday, the Knights have 1 final road game against Florida Gulf Coast University. To keep up with the club soccer team, search for Club Soccer UCF on Instagram. With Saturday's original kickoff date postponed from Hurricane Ian, UCF football and SMU squared off at the Bounce House Wednesday night. A dominant second half propelled the Knights to victory versus the Mustang in their first conference game of the season. UCF Nightly News reporter Grant Wheeler shares more.
It was a slow start offensively for the UCF football team Wednesday night against AAC opponent SMU. The team went into halftime down 13-10, getting in the end zone just once over the first 30 minutes. The Knights picked up steam in the second half, racking up over 200 yards of offense in the third quarter alone, while outscoring the Mustangs by 25 points. With conference season now underway, UCF head coach Gus Malzahn says it's time for the team to elevate its play on the field even more.
That's what it's about. I told our guys at 3-1, non-conference, it doesn't matter what happened before, good and bad. It's time now. It's conference time. You got to raise your level.
The offense wasn't the only unit for UCF that found its groove. The defense for the Knights forced 2 turnovers and a safety on the SMU offense, while holding the Mustangs to only a 25% conversion rate on third down. After a poor first half offensively for UCF, the offense found its rhythm in the second half by outscoring SMU 31-6. Posting a 4-1 record on the year, the Knights' passing game ranks 89th in the country, managing just 210 yards per game through the air. Senior wide receiver Ryan O'Keefe says the unit just needs to stay in sync for continued success.
Like I said, a lot of ups and downs. We just had to figure out, get on the same page with each other, and once we start clicking, I feel like Scott doing for his offense.
UCF is looking to carry over its momentum into its second conference game of the season when Temple comes into town next week. In Orlando, Grant Wheeler, UCF Nightly News.
That's all we have for sports today. Emily and Erica, back to you.
That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our website, nightlynews.ucf.edu.
And if you've got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. Thanks for watching and have a good day.